for being here today. I know it was all exciting just a minute ago when all of the superheroes walked in. We don't always, in the childhood cancer world, get together just to celebrate. So this is so exciting for all of us because it's so refreshing and hopeful to have a day just to celebrate and to bring hope for a better tomorrow for kids with cancer. And I'm very excited that you all are here, and I'm even more excited that you get to meet some of our kiddos and hear their stories. So up first today to speak is Logan Kinzel. So stand up right up there.
Hello, my name is Logan. I am a cancer survivor. I beat brain cancer 2 times. My journey was tough, but I am tougher. AngelWorks and Friends of Faith Friend Foundation helped our family through everything. I love Ellie and Mary. I struggle with side effects from the treatment that saved my life. Nights like this help raise awareness to end childhood cancer so other kids don't struggle. Thank you so much for your support. Knock, knock. Carrot. Don't you care all about me?
It's like a magic trick that I just jumped right back up. Next, we have Chloe Marcinko.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chloe. I'm 14 years old, and I'm currently undergoing chemotherapy for Hodgkin's lymphoma. I've been in treatment since July, but my journey started long before that. It took 3 long months of testing and waiting before I finally received a diagnosis. No child should have to wait that long. We need better. People often tell me that I'm strong. The truth is, I don't always feel that way. Cancer has taken a lot from me. This is a time in my life I'll never get back. While my friends' lives have moved on, mine has felt like it's been put on hold. But even in the middle of all this, I've learned things I never expected. I've learned how powerful kindness is. I've learned how important it is to have family, friends, and a community standing by you. And I've learned that even in the darkest times, there can still be hope, love, and moments of joy. First and most importantly, I am thankful for God. Without Him, I know that this would be impossible. I'm thankful for the incredible doctors and nurses who take care of me every day. I'm grateful for organizations like AngelWorks that work nonstop to help families like mine, and I'm thankful for everyone here tonight, showing kids like me that we're not fighting alone. I hope to be a voice for the ones who can't speak up, for the kids still waiting for a diagnosis, for those in treatment, and for those who are no longer here. Childhood cancer isn't just a medical issue, it's a human issue, and it affects families. And my hope for the future is that no child has to go through what I'm going through. I hope for earlier detection and treatments that are less invasive, with few or even no side effects. I hope kids won't have to miss out on their lives, and that families won't go bankrupt just because they want their child to survive. I dream of a time when cancer diagnoses and treatment will be as simple and effective as caring for a common illness. As we light up tonight, please remember the children and families behind the statistics. We need more awareness, more research, and more support. But most of all, we need compassion and action. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for standing up with me and so many others tonight. Together, we can bring more light into the darkness of childhood cancer.
Chloe, thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. And now I get to introduce Aria. Aria Tarantine has been with us on a lot of our journey of trying to raise awareness and get state research funding. And so I'm always excited whenever I get to introduce her. She was a really big part in getting some really big things passed for our state. So please welcome Aria.
Good evening. Before I start with the actual speech, I just wanted to say thank you to Ellie. I have actually known Ellie since I was going through treatment, or at least shortly after, when I was freshly in remission, and she helped me through a lot of things. I'm very appreciative towards you. Good evening. My name is Aria Tarantine, and I am so incredibly happy to be here today representing survivorship and witnessing firsthand our great state government's acknowledgement of this terrible disease. I'm currently a senior in high school, and I am one of the lucky few who has the privilege to say that I have survived and thrived since my diagnosis. It has now been over 6 years since I went into remission with no evidence of recurring disease. In that time, I've maintained good grades, made and lost loads of friends, had a successful hair transplant, made several speeches in front of hundreds of people, and even testified for the passing of the $5 million bill for pediatric cancer research, amongst many other things. I have been able to say that I am a cancer survivor. I have been able to say that I have not relapsed a singular time. I have been able to say that I am blessed enough to only have a few long-term side effects. What I want and what I'm here for is for more kids to be able to live like me. More children should be able to say what I can say standing up here. More children should have human, elementary, teenage struggles instead of cancer and chemo-induced struggles. More children should have the support that I have and freedom of the outdoors and life's experiences, not the confinement of hospital walls. The survival rate of pediatric cancer has increased slowly over time, but the survivability varies so greatly between different types of cancer. After all, pediatric cancer is not just leukemia. It's hundreds of other types, all muddled into one statistic that can't truly be measured accurately. Despite what the internet says, reality says differently. Reality says that the fight is far from over and that children are still dying every day. Reality says that $5 million from our great governor is an amazing start, but only the tip of the iceberg. We should all strive to make our voices loud, loud enough to drown out the commercialized pink ribbon, loud enough for the children who have oxygen tubes in their nose and needles in their veins, loud enough so that the world hears and responds, and hopefully someday I won't be the only one able to say that I survived and thrived. Thank you for your time.
And I said that today was a great day to celebrate hope, and Aria is proof of that because I'm very hopeful that Aria is going to help change the future for childhood cancer because of her ability and her willingness to be a voice. Gracie Long is going to come speak next. I just want to warn everybody ahead of time, if you would like a tissue, they are right over there. And so, Gracie, come on up.
What did one potato say to the other potato? Potato. Hi, my name is Gracie Long, and that was my brother Braxton's favorite joke, one he came up by himself. He was 6 years old when he was diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma, which is a type of brain cancer. And from that moment, childhood cancer became part of our family's story. I was 7 at the time, and I quickly learned that when a child is diagnosed, it changes the life for everyone who loves them. When people hear the word cancer, most picture adults, but children are often affected too. And when it's a child, it changes everything. Our routines no longer looked like other families. Everyday life, school, dinners, holidays, even vacations, shifted around treatments and hospital stays. Most days, one parent was at the hospital with Braxton, while the other was with me and my sister. Nothing about life felt ordinary anymore. But here's what I want you to remember most. Kids with cancer are still kids. Braxton was never defined by his diagnosis. He was full of personality. He loved Legos and could build for hours. He loved sugar, the sweeter, the better. He loved Jesus, and he loved music. One of his favorite songs was House Party, and any time it came on, his whole face lit up, and his feet started moving. Dancing was a part of who he was. I'll never forget one time after surgery, when he could barely stand, he held onto the rail for balance from his bed, and right there in the hospital room, he started to do a little happy dance. It was small, but it was powerful. This was his way of saying, I'm still me, and I'm still here. He was a fighter, and he had joy. That memory stays with me because it captures exactly who he was: resilient, joyful, and determined to live fully, even in the face of something no child should have to face. Over 2 years he was in treatment. We did everything we could to make memories together as a family. We learned quickly that you can't take time for granted. Even the smallest moments mattered. Sharing a laugh, making jokes, building with Legos, listening to music, or even praying together as a family. Cancer may have stolen our sense of normal, but also made us treasure every day we had. When Braxton was 8 years old, he passed away. That was 8 years ago now, but childhood cancer has been a part of my life ever since, because childhood cancer doesn't end when the treatment ends, and it doesn't end when a child's life ends. It shapes families forever. For me, it's changed the way I see the world. I notice milestones my brother never got to reach. I think about what he might be like today. I carry the lessons I learned from him about joy, about faith, and about making the most of the time we're given. His life, though short, continues to shape mine every single day. That's why nights like this night mean so much. Here in Columbus, as our buildings light up gold, we are doing more than just changing the color. We are shining a light for every child affected by cancer, every sibling, every parent, every family walking through this reality. Childhood cancer takes so much, but nights like this bring something back. They bring awareness. They bring community, and most of all, they bring hope. Hope that more people will know these children's stories. Hope that no family will feel alone in the fight. Hope that one day fewer families will lose a child the way my family did. Every golden light across this building is a reminder that these kids matter. Their stories matter, and their futures matter. Even after his passing, Braxton's impact continues. During his treatment, he started a Lego drive for other kids in the hospital going through chemo treatment. He wanted them to have something to bring them joy the way Legos brought him joy. And to this day, our family carries on that tradition in his name. It's a way of spreading the same joy he carried with him, joy that even cancer can't take away. So when you see our city glowing gold tonight, I hope you don't only think of hospitals or treatments. I hope you think of kids like Braxton, kids who love Legos, who dance after surgery, who sings along to their favorite songs, who love sugar, who love life, and who love Jesus. Kids who deserve to be remembered, and kids who deserve a future. And as you look at these lights, I hope that you are filled with the same joy and hope for our future in cancer research. Thank you for letting me share Braxton's story tonight, and thank you for standing together, for lighting our city gold, and for reminding families like mine that we are not alone. Your light makes a difference.
Thank you so much, Gracie. Up now, we have Lori. So this, I will just preface, I think this is going to be the first time that Lori has ever gotten in front of anybody and spoken. Is it true? Yeah. So I know she's a little nervous, so please give her a warm welcome. It's going to be a little hard, I'm sure, for her to share this story, but it's a really great story that I want you all to know.
I don't know how I can follow this and this, but I'll try. I should have gone first, actually. Then they could have brought the house down. Like Ellie said, my name is Lori Preston, and my son Jackson passed away 2 years ago from a rare form of brain cancer. Sorry. He was our fun-loving, sushi-eating, joke-telling, so I appreciate the jokes. Yours too. S'mores-making, fishing enthusiast. Let's see. These past 2 years have been incredibly hard. As a mother, sorry. So, as a mother, I lost not only my purpose, not only my son, but my purpose. Grief has been a long, unending journey, one that we've had to navigate day by day. Sorry. But like many parents who walk this heartbreaking path, I found that purpose can grow from pain. Parents often feel a strong pull to pay forward the love and support that we received during our child's cancer journey. Raising awareness, advocating for better funding, and supporting families on their journey, and encouraging blood donation have been my sources of purpose now. And that's what's led me here to cry in front of you tonight. I have a really fun story to share with you, I promise. As a bereaved childhood cancer mom, I carry 2 missions now. 1, to hear my son's name. And 2, to see something good come from his story. If you know me, you know that public speaking is not something I enjoy because of the tears. But I'm here because Jackson's story deserves to be shared. And because I believe stories can change hearts and maybe even change the world. Here's the fun part. I am a teacher in Westerville City Schools, and not only do I go by Mrs. Preston, but I am also known as Jackson's mom to our building. And I'd like to share with you an inspiring story about a school-wide project that our building did. And that makes this mom's heart truly happy and full of joy. Recently, a group of 4th grade teachers in our building approached me, and they were working on a literacy unit about what it means to have a great heart, both literally and figuratively. And they wanted to use Jackson's story as a way to bring the lesson to life. Their idea was to give the kids a real cause to stand behind that could inspire them to show what it truly means to have a kind and compassionate heart, right? That's a great plan as teachers. And so that's how Jackson's Pond was born. Remember I said he was a fishing enthusiast? Those teachers took this and ran with it. Using Jackson's story, the students launched a school-wide initiative to raise money and awareness for childhood cancer. For every donation made, a goldfish was placed in Jackson's Pond, which was displayed in the cafeteria. Each fish represented an act of kindness, no matter how big or small. The students didn't stop at collecting donations. They made posters all over the school. They wore gold. They passed out gold bracelets, wrote cards to kids in treatment, and even sent letters to legislators questioning why only 4% of the federal cancer research budget goes to kids. They thought this was just plain unfair. They understood that 4% simply isn't enough, and they made sure their voices were heard. And over that 2-week period of time, they fell in love with Jackson and were deeply motivated by his story. His name was being spoken in every classroom and throughout the building and around our community. This was bold, and their voices hit the mark. It wasn't just those 90 4th graders and their teachers who were moved by Jackson's story. The entire building, their families, and our broader community here in Ohio felt the ripple effect. Jackson's Pond even made the local news here in Columbus. Maybe you saw it on Channel 4. Jackson's story stirred hearts, it sparked conversation, and it motivated a group of 9 and 10-year-olds to believe they could make a difference. And they did. I can't wait to see how this project changes and grows from year to year because they want to keep using Jackson's story. Ultimately, that's why we're here tonight, to to spread awareness and to demand better for our children, and to honor the lives that deserve more than 4% of our attention. This mom will always go gold for childhood cancer, not just because Jackson fought bravely, but because he deserved better. All of our kids do. So thanks for listening to my tears and my words. Thank you for remembering Jackson, and thank you for being a part of this mission for change.
Thank you so much, Lori. I know that that was hard for you, and I appreciate you stepping outside of your comfort zone to share Jackson with us tonight. One of the biggest blessings that I have been given is the opportunity to be a voice for kids with cancer. I realized actually just this moment while I was sitting here that along with that blessing is the opportunity that I get to meet so many of these kids and families and parents. My life is so intertwined with so many of these kids now, and I am certainly blessed to get to know them. And I remember a time when I thought that this was all a burden, and I've learned now that it's quite the opposite. And I just really just had this epiphany how very lucky I am. I typically jump at any opportunity that I'm given to get in front of people and help raise awareness. And for years and years, it felt like every time I had the opportunity to get in front of someone, everything that I was sharing was filled with sadness and doom and gloom. This year is different. This year, I feel like for the first time, there is so much hope for the future right here in our state. In the state of Ohio, from 2000 to 2019, childhood incidence rates have increased 35%. And we don't have any data after 2019. We don't know if it's getting worse or better. My assumption is it's still getting worse, but we don't have the data to know. Currently, on a federal level, adult cancers get 96% of our government research funding, and 4% is split between all of the different types of childhood cancer. That equates about $289 million a year, or about $24 million for the 12 major types of childhood cancer. And that's just trying to say, if we were going to say that the hundreds of subclasses get zero. To put those numbers in perspective, in that exact same year, Americans spent $8 billion, with a B, on potato chips, but under $300 million on childhood cancer research. Again, that same year, we spent $29 million on Valentine's Day gifts, of all things. And I like making those comparisons so that you can really see, because when you hear $200 or $300 million, it sounds like a really big number. Like in our personal lives, that would be life-changing. In the world of cancer research, or potato chips, apparently, it's not a very big number at all. I've known for a long time that we had to do better. We pay for about 3 funerals every month, and we certainly don't pay for all of the funerals in Ohio for kids taken by cancer. About 3 years ago, I had an epiphany in the middle of the night, and I realized that we just assume funding for research has to come from a federal level. But it's Ohio's kids that I'm helping to bury. It's Ohio's kids that I was worried about. So why can't Ohio come up with money to try to save our children here in our state? I actually took a leave from my company, and I started going to the State House every day, and I met with all of the senators and state representatives, And over and over and over again, I was told, Ellie, this is a great idea. This is a really amazing idea, and it's impossible. All of them said, it's not the way it's done, like you don't understand. Research funding comes from the feds. It isn't a state issue. We can't take that on. And actually, for a couple of years, I bought into that. I believed it. Oh, you're right. It is the way it's done. But then California started, their Senate passed a bill. Unfortunately, their governor pulled it in the 11th hour. But their Senate was passing a bill to do a state cancer research fund. And that opened my eyes. I was like, well, if they can do it, why can't we? We should be able to do the same thing. So I started hitting the pavement again. I started having meetings. I actually reached a point a year ago. I didn't any longer believe. I didn't believe that it was possible. I was told that it was impossible so many times that I truly believed it. And I know it makes me sound like a crazy person that I was still getting up every day and I was going to meetings and I was asking for the research for something that I truly believed was impossible. But you have to understand, the flip side to that was that I had all of these children behind me, both the ones that are living and the ones that are past. And there was no way in the world I was ever going to walk back and tell any of these kids that it was just too hard and I was giving up. So I decided I was just going to keep facing failure every year, but I wouldn't quit. And every once in a while, God parts the clouds just enough for us to see the path that He has put us on and let us realize that we're actually on the right path that we are meant to be on. And that moment happened for me in January of this year when I got a call from Aaron Mabe in Governor DeWine's office to tell me that Governor DeWine had put $10 million in his executive budget earmarked for childhood cancer research so that we could finally start the Ohio Childhood Cancer Research Fund and be the third state in our country to do so. That was... Thank you. That was such an amazing day. I felt a little deflated at the end because then he told me I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. And I don't know if you've ever had that big of a secret. I've never had that big of a secret in my life until that moment. And I was so excited, and I wasn't able to share it with anybody until a few weeks later. At that point, I was naive enough to think that if the governor put something in their budget that like I don't go to the Mexican restaurant and celebrate and we were done. I quickly learned that that just meant that I needed to spend more time at the State House. I needed to have more meetings. And I got to know all the legislators even better going in and having meetings. The fund was unfortunately cut to $5 million in the House. We were successful in the end at keeping it in the budget. If anybody follows the budget, our state budget, you would know that this year of all years was probably the most difficult year for us to get it through. It was a very contentious budget. I don't think I've ever worked this hard for something in my whole life. And we were successful at keeping the $5 million in. It was signed into law on June 30th, and now we have the Ohio Childhood Cancer Research Fund. While it only has $5 million, not as much as we're able to come up with for potato chips. The hope is that we will be able to build on it. What an amazing step for kids with cancer, for us to just have this research fund. We're one of the few states in the country that have been able to think outside of the box enough to get it done, but then we are the first state in the country to create it as a state program. The funds are held within the Department of Children and Youth, so nobody gets to skim off the top to keep a percentage of the funds. The entire funds will go to childhood cancer research, and they're taking applications already. So very exciting. Just gives so much hope for the future for kids with cancer. And what an amazing state we live in to be one of the few states that can see that there's a need that needs to be met, be willing to think outside of the box to meet that need and move forward with it. People that have known me for a really long time know that 20-something, maybe 30 years ago, I wanted to be a politician. I quickly decided that it wasn't a path I wanted to be on. And when I was questioned by Senator Schaefer why I wasn't going to continue, I told him that I didn't have any interest in pursuing it because I had learned that politicians can't change the world. On June 30th of this year, I realized that I was wrong. I just was too naive to be able to see that perhaps they can't change the entire world. But Governor DeWine, Senator Schaefer, Representative White, and several other of our leaders that really got behind this fund and pushed it to help it get it through, they were able to change the life for kids with cancer. They were able to change the world for all of the kids that are fighting cancer now and help create hope for a better tomorrow for all of them. And so tonight is about celebrating that, celebrating Childhood Cancer Research Month and getting together for a happy reason. So again, thank you all for being here. Now I would like to announce Councilmember Green. I think I actually just swapped.
I think you skipped, yeah.
Yeah, do you want me to go back and do this first? Yes. I apologize. I just wanted her to come up and talk to me for a minute. But first, so we are going to have Mary Taylor come up. And Mary partnered with So Many Angels for them to do some really amazing photos of some of our cancer kiddos. And the kids or their parents haven't even gotten to see any of the photos, and they're going to get to see them for the first time tonight.
Thank you, Ellie. Hi, I'm Mary Taylor, and I'm with the Friends of Faith Prudent Foundation. And I'm very, very excited to share what we teamed up with So Many Angels. And I must like angels because we like to team up with Angel Works too. And we had our annual family picnic, and at that time we allowed 6 of our cancer warriors a chance to do a photo shoot. And that's all that the parents got to see, a green screen and a photo shoot with their child. And so we have some superhero friends that are going to help me to show their pictures. And I'm so thankful to my friend Adam for helping me find all these wonderful superheroes. And first up is Callahan Hare. And Callahan, unfortunately, isn't here tonight, but I would love for Spider-Man to bring Callahan up so we can share his photo, because I couldn't let the night go without sharing it. All right, you can turn it around. And what they did was amazing because Callahan forgot his outfit. Thank you. And next we have a princess. I called her the pink princess because she had this beautiful pink dress on. And unfortunately, she had a lot going on today and was very sick and, well, very tired and didn't feel good enough to come. So Bill has graciously joined us, and you can show Kinsley's picture. Thank you, Bill. We'll need you again. The next picture might be my favorite. My daughters and I got to see them already. So we picked different ones, and we all picked a different one. But I thought this turned out great. Brian Jr., come on up here. And Brian Jr. was our astronaut. What do you think, Brian? Excellent. That's yours. Do you want to hold it? Okay, Logan, you're up again. We have our Wolverine named Logan, and Mr. Wolverine here to give you your, shaking hands with us. Oh. Can you turn it around and show everybody, Logan? Stand up really tall. My next friend, Zany, was not feeling well at all the day we did this. And actually, I think we only got one picture. Is that right, Mom? We only got one actual photograph at the day of. Zany, come on up here, honey. But wait till you see, and she was a unicorn princess. Wait till you see how yours turned out. Look, Zany. Can you hold it up? They did an amazing job. Okay, and last but not least, okay, Xander, come on over. We know that we have, do you want to just hold it for a second? Here, I'll sit right here. Okay, there you go. Our Red Power Ranger, Alexander, and can you hold it up really high? That was your favorite. You can stand right here with me, sure. I just want to thank everybody that helped me, and especially my daughter, Barbara A. Stegner, who helped me not only with the photos and stuff today, but she helped me with the photo shoot at the Fireman's Park for our picnic, and she helps me with everything I need. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate Ellie for always being there when I need somebody. I call her when I'm desperate, help. I can't do this or that. And she's used to my calls. But teaming up with you is wonderful, and I appreciate you. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate you too. Mary and I, we even get to have each other's backs whenever we're having a really bad day and we know like our friends won't understand. We get to call each other. And real quickly, before I have the council member come back up, I would like to thank the city of Columbus, not just for even letting us come here and gather tonight, but for agreeing to light the building gold. It's taken years. Mary and I have both been working really hard trying to get buildings to light gold. It is harder than you would think. But this year we have lots of buildings that joined in. All of the Lazarus buildings have been going gold for several years. AP lights the Sky Band gold each year for like 1 week. City Hall is of course going gold. So Easton is even going gold this year. So we have lots of buildings that have joined in and we really appreciate it. But the city of Columbus being able to do it in this type of a manner, making such a production out of it is really amazing because it raises so much more awareness than just all of a sudden the building's gold and nobody knows why. So if everybody could make sure, we really want to thank the city. You can put things on social media. If you share pictures tonight, make sure that you include them in. And now I would like to introduce Council Member Melissa Green.
Thank you so much. I'm also going to invite my colleague, Council President Shannon Harden, who is here with us tonight as well. And none of this work that we're able to do is able to happen without his leadership. So I'm so glad. Thank you for being here. And thank you to all of you for being here tonight. We have come together tonight to literally shine a light on this issue of childhood cancer. And so tonight, City Hall, we're going to glow gold, not just as a symbol, but as a beacon, as a promise to so many of the kids and the families, the people that are here tonight, and those that couldn't be here with us, to know that they are not alone on this journey, not by a million miles. We heard tonight from young people who remind us that childhood cancer, it's just so much more than a diagnosis or than statistics. It's about real world, real lives, people's dreams, and the determination to keep moving forward. And their stories remind us that hope is stronger than fear, and that when our community comes together, anything is possible. And to those youth and families that are here tonight, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your stories. And for being willing to use your voice to advocate, to Lori, for standing up here in front of us. Council President can attest, I have stood up here and cried many, many times. I'm the council crier, so at least I'm in good company. But I know it's hard. I know it's hard to stand up in front of a room of people and to advocate, and clearly the work that you are doing, the way that you are using your voice is having an impact, because today we are able to celebrate Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and be able to celebrate what an incredible milestone of this new fund that only exists in a handful of places, that exists in a unique way to us, and it's due to Ellie, and it's due to all of you for not giving up and for continuing to use your voice to inspire other people to move forward. And, to all the medical professionals in the room, the doctors and the nurses, you're bringing hope and you're bringing healing every single day to people. And I know it's not just hard work, it's heart work. And it means the world, it means the absolute world. And then especially to our organizations, like our partners that are here tonight, with Angel Works and Friends of Faith Pruden. It is clear just by the emotion and the love and the compassion in this space how important the work that you are doing is. You help carry families and communities through the absolute hardest of times and bring joy and laughter and love and light into spaces where it doesn't naturally thrive. And so it is an absolute privilege to get to share this moment with all of you and be in this space. And now I'm going to allow our council president to present the resolution to our partners at Friends of Faith Pruden and Angel Works.
Thank you so much, council member. Let's give these young people a round of applause again. We can clap for them for being survivors. We can clap for them for being so special. But as a parent of a young one, these young kids over here have really maintained for a program. Like, that is really good, like, for all of us parents. So thank you, council member. I've had the honor of serving the city of Columbus as a city council member for 10 years. For 10 years, I've sat on the dais behind you as we have acknowledged Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And every year for 6 years, I was struck by the question, why don't more people talk about this? Why don't more people know that 96% of funding for cancer goes to adults, but the 4%, we think about our children, only 4% goes to it. It wasn't until 4 years ago that I became a parent that I figured it out. Some things are too hard for folks who don't have to deal with it to focus on. Some things are too difficult for people who don't have to live it to focus on. I got it. Even though I understand it now, it's unacceptable. Because but by the grace of God goes Melissa's 4-year-old, or my 4-year-old. And so it is on all of us, not just our survivors and survivor parents, who we pray for every day. You're doing something different. This was not in the cards. This is not what you signed up for. But you have taken your pain, you have turned it into passion. I keep on thinking about, is it Lori? Jackson. Jackson. We will say his name. Will you help? Can we say that together? Can we say Jackson?
Jackson.
There we go. He's here. He is here. And this is where I'm really off script. I wasn't even supposed to be here tonight. And my policy people aren't here, so they can't stop me. I'm so excited about the fund. I want to figure out with my colleague how the City of Columbus can donate $100,000 towards that fund. Sometimes it's the least that we can do. Sometimes it's just showing up. Sometimes it's just holding hands. Sometimes it's just hearing the jokes of our kiddos who are being so strong, who are being our superheroes. On behalf of a grateful city, on behalf of an awesome council, we present this resolution to recognize September 2025 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Godspeed. God bless. And know that there are countless folks, even if they don't want to, don't know how to, don't have the words yet, that are behind you and are praying for you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Elliott. And if you want to stick around, we can do a couple pictures. Actually, I'm going to present this one to you. And then before everyone leaves, if we can have our kiddos come stay up here at the front and take some pictures, and then we would also welcome, I also just want to acknowledge Councilmember Emmanuel Remy, who just entered to join us here as well tonight. And then we would welcome anyone else who wants to, after you take a picture with our kiddos, welcome families to come up, or anyone else who wants to be in a group photo as well to be here. And thank you again for being here tonight. Okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna. Yeah, let's do that. Hi, thanks for coming. All right.